Hello, this is Isaac Lundgren. I wanted to do a follow-up video to the Amazon Renewed video I made about 4 months ago to let you know how that product is still doing after 4 months and to give some new information that I've kind of learned with more experience from the Amazon Renewed program. So first of all, the iPad Pro that I purchased from the Amazon Renewed program, it's actually doing quite amazing. There's been no developments, no problems that I can tell after 4 months of use. And you'd think if anything was wrong to begin with, that would be plenty of time for the problem to manifest. And have nothing to report on that front. It still works like brand new. Since then, I've been wanting to replace my iPhone 6. It's gotten many years of use, and it's been about time. It's starting to show some signs of needing to be replaced. So I decided to go with an iPhone 10. Now this isn't the 10 here, but it looks identical to this. It was perfect. I absolutely loved it for a couple of days. Then it started to show signs of having a problem. The screen would just go black periodically, and I'd have to like force restart it to get the screen to come back. And at first it was a couple of times a day. Then the following day it was like 6 times during that day, and then the following day it went off and never came back on. Now it was just the screen itself. Like if I held down the side button and a volume button, I would get the emergency sound effect that went along with holding the buttons down. It would make like a siren sound, but I just didn't see any picture at all. So of course that had to be returned. So I now have some experience on how the returns go. Well, you send the product back, so however long that takes, maybe 4 to 7 days, and then they have up to 7 days to do the return. So you're looking at another week, week and a half if you have to return an item. But the return went fine. They transferred the funds back to my account, and I applied them toward another phone, and I decided to go instead with the 10s Max just to try out the larger screen and get a bigger hard drive in it, you know, since I was going through the process anyway. And it's another phone that I absolutely love. On the 10, the battery health was at 100%, so it was a brand new battery. So they were prepping it to be sold again. They replaced the battery. But they had missed the screen glitch problem, and I think they might have missed it because it didn't manifest for a while. It took a couple of days for the problem to manifest. So that's something to think about if you're thinking about ordering a Renewed, is that you've got to try it. You've got to be vigilant about things that could possibly go wrong, and just know that it's a refurbished product. There could be something that they didn't find that you would have a reason to need to return it. So anyway, return the 10. I went with the 10s Max instead, and I love the size, I love the screen, I love the camera, and there hasn't been any problems. The battery for this one, the battery health, if you're looking for how to find it, it's in your settings, and you go to battery and battery health. And this one was at 93%. Now I've had this one for about 2.5 months already, and there has been no change. It's been at 93 the whole time. I'm like, well, maybe it only says 93, but if I check it in a month, it'll be at 80. But no, it's been at 93 the whole time. So the battery health has been fine on this one. But there was one glitch that I was wondering about. It turned out not to be a problem with the phone, but you never know. And that's why I ordered a separate one just in case. But the problem was, if I covered the proximity sensor, the phone just goes dark, no matter what. It goes to the lock screen. So I'll repeat that again. Even from the lock screen, if I just do that from the lock screen. So at first, I thought it could be a glitch. I noticed if I took it out of the case, the problem would not repeat. Oop, that was just auto shut off. Okay, the problem would not repeat if I took it out of the case, but as soon as I pushed it back in the case, it would happen again. So after a long discovery, I realized it has something to do with the magnets and the magnetometer, or whatever it's called inside the phone. I can't actually remember. It's what helps your phone to recognize true north when it's doing the compass, but it's also used by cases as a way to auto shut off your screen. So when the magnet makes contact, the screen automatically turns off. And I think in an update recently, Apple made the magnetometer or whatever it's called to be more sensitive, because I think now it's being activated from behind. I've got this magnet here and this magnet here, and when you put them all together, I think that's what is messing with it and making it to turn off if I cover the proximity sensor. Oh, well, lucky me, it's working at this moment. But I did notice if I took a call this way where everything's unfolded, that it would not drop my calls. But I mean, look how ridiculous you look taking a call with this thing flopping around. So I guess one solution would be, just change cases for a while with one that's not a Folio. But I do love the Folio case and the protection that it provides. So I hope they fix that, Apple. Anyway, in the meantime, I ordered the 10s, which is pretty much identical. It's just a little smaller. So they're both fantastic. I love the way this one fits in the hand, but I am kind of missing the giant screen from this one, so I'm gonna have to decide which to send back, and I'm probably gonna send back the one I just ordered now that I know it is a Apple issue and not a phone issue. I could get the issue to repeat on this phone as well. Not as consistent, but as you can see, it does have the same type of proximity sensor problem. Strange, but now you know the glitch, and I think the cause is from the magnets. Anyway, if you're ordering a product from Amazon Renewed, remember to be thorough. Totally check it out. It's a refurbished product after all. Somebody has used it. There's some reason that it has been returned. It could have been returned because it had a problem, or maybe they were just returning it. Maybe they didn't want it anymore. You never know. So if there was a problem, it should have been fixed. But if it has not been fixed, you gotta figure that out. They give you plenty of time to figure it out. You've got 90 days. That's 3 months to figure out if there's a problem with your new device. I think that's plenty of time. Like I said, in the 10, it manifests within a few days. And then I spent 2.5 months wondering if the proximity sensor was an actual problem. And I had the time to think about it and to investigate it. And I realized it wasn't a problem with the phone itself, especially since it didn't repeat when you took it out of the case. So out of the case, everything's fine. Both of the phones, by the way, look beautiful on the front and back. They might have tiny microscopic scuff marks, but I have not noticed any significant anything that would make me think that saving a few $100s was not a good idea. Would I still recommend the Amazon Renewed program? Yes, I would, but you've got to have some flexibility with time, and a little bit of flexibility with finances, especially if you have to have 2 phones at once. So I wouldn't go with the program if it was like your last dime and you had to have the phone, and if it didn't work, things were going to fall apart. I would say if you've been saving for a phone and you want to try to save a few $100s, but you don't have to save a few $100s right this second, I would say it's a perfect program for you. Order the phone, try it out. You may not have any problems at all. And if you do, return it, try again, and by the time a few weeks are over, you should have something fully functioning that you love, that you've saved a few $100s on. So that's my 2 cents on the Amazon Renewed program. I would definitely order it from it again. I mean, I have after all, but I would do it again, just knowing that if something were to go wrong, I could return it and it wouldn't be a loss, as long as I found it within 90 days, which I'm sure you would be able to. That's my review on the Amazon Renewed program. What do you think of the Amazon Renewed program? Have you tried it? Have you had success with it? Let us know in the comments below.